Welcome to the show, everybody. How you doing? It's Punchlines. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan, and I am wearing traditional Thanksgiving colors. You don't think I coordinate for this show? I have a little cranberry T-shirt under here. I got a brown pullover. I think the T-shirt was, I think this was Old Navy. This is Costco. Total outfit. And I'm not wearing pants, so that's how I do it on the show. Listen, I'm Frank Nicotero. I already say lifelong comedian, longtime sports fan, and I am going to hit this show hard like all Americans will be tomorrow when it comes to eating tons of calories for Thanksgiving. Ryan, how many calories and grams of fat will the average American consume? Well, we have a little chart that I found last night. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and take this as gospel because it's the first thing that popped up when I Googled that question. So that's how I pick most of my bets also. I just Google who will win tonight. So what do we got there? 4,500 calories. And then a very exact number of 229 grams of fat. Not 230, 229. And that's more than twice the calories and 3.5 times the fat recommended daily. So that sounds about right. Ryan, what about, that's Ryan McCormick, our producer over there, panicking for some reason. Something's going on.
I was trying to communicate.
We're all good?
Trying to communicate. Yeah, we're good.
And you're wearing kind of Thanksgiving attire today, too.
Yeah. Turkey neck.
Turkey
maybe. And then some gold jacket.
You like the mock turtle. Is that a mock turtleneck, Ann? Or is that a real turtleneck that he's wearing?
That's a real turtle.
That's a real turtleneck.
That we mock.
Now, David Michael, who's our guest later on today, when we were doing stand-up in the 90s, mock turtlenecks were a thing. And I wore button-up cardigans. Oh, yeah. And then, but here's the thing. So I'd wear these on stage at a comedy club. I remember specifically Cincinnati, Ohio. I would bring like 2 sweaters, and if I was doing a Wednesday through Sunday, I'd rotate them, Wednesday, Friday. But you'd wear it Wednesday night, and you get off stage, and they're literally covered in cigarette smoke. So you would just, it wasn't fresh anymore. Because back then, when we were doing stand-up, people could smoke. And literally, the front row, it was like you were performing in London half the time. Just a fog. And I remember the Cincinnati Funny Bone, whether they didn't have smoke eaters or whatever, I just would smell like smoke. And I don't smoke.
Not a good smell.
This is what we comedians did in the 90s. You comedians now on your TikTok, doing all your videos in these clean, crisp comedy clubs, we laid the groundwork. He's laughing. David Michael knows. We were out there when people were smoking and throwing stuff out. I had a glass thrown at me one time. But smoke, it was the worst. All right, so there you go. A lot of people are going to hit the buffet tomorrow hard, right?
You'd think.
Thanksgiving, right?
I don't know about the
and I am fired up for Thanksgiving because we got football, but I am not as fired up as Nick Sirianni was after the Eagles' Monday night win in Kansas City. This is him rocking the title. Well, you can read what he's saying, but he's fired up. See ya! Yeah, see ya! You know, your head coach used to be dignified. You had like Tom Landry, Don Shula, always reserved personalities. Now they're taking the TikTok, but they're taking the social media bait. Kansas City's talking trash. See ya.
Why would you not be fired up with your coach, though?
I know. That's like, oh, no.
Like as a player, you would want that, right?
The first coach that did that was Bill Cowher for the Steelers. He was the first players coach. We'll talk to David Michael about it. Cowher was the one running up on the sidelines. Let's go. He was the first person to scream, let's go. He should have trademarked it. But anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for watching. You're watching on YouTube. How many subscribers do we have?
683.
683. We're hovering at 683.
Yeah.
I think people are traveling. This is going to be the busiest Thanksgiving travel week in decades.
Very true.
55 million people are going to be traveling by air or by car or by Vespa if you're really cool. And
I'll get flying powers now.
So, maybe our subscribers are holding still. But anyway, please subscribe, watch the show, share with friends, and you can get us on the podcast. If you want to listen to the show on your way to work, or if you're at the gym working out, you want to hear some local sports, or not local sports, national sports, you want to hear some gambling tips, wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you can listen to the show as well, like Apple, Spotify,
Amazon.
Napster, MySpace.
Yeah, Amazon Music.
I was a Napster holdout, man. Do you ever remember Napster?
The only reason why I know Napster is The Italian Job.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And the Social Network, they talk about it. All right. On today's show, ladies and gentlemen, my man, Mr. Thursday Night, David Michael, will be here to feast on the 3 games tomorrow night. And for your second course today in studio, Jeff Parles, who Sports by the Book will be doing a 2-hour show today. They'll be doing 2 to 4. Who's on with Jeff today? We got Vinny.
Should be Chris Andrews, Vinny Magliulo.
Chris Andrews and Vinny. Okay, so make sure you watch those guys. They usually do that show on Friday, but because of NFL season starting, or NFL week starting tomorrow, they'll be here today. So just basically leave our page up.
NFL week normally starts on Thursdays.
It does start
big
on
Thursday.
But it's a triple header.
Yeah, we got big Thursday, first Friday night game. So.
And for those of you who are complaining about Amazon Prime, a couple of the games are actually on actual TV.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So it is November 22nd, 2023, and it's episode 33 for us. So Ryan, hit me with the collage. Today's collage, famous number 33s.
Turdy Tree.
Turdy Tree. All right, you got, that's Larry Walker. That's very deep dive there. Is that Larry Walker?
Yep.
With the Montreal Expos?
Yep.
Who then went on to play for the Rockies. Deserved to go to the Hall of Fame. I know Nagel was I think he talked about Larry Walker. His numbers slightly inflated because of playing at Coors Field. Larry Walker was, look at his numbers. He was awesome. He was, thank God he's in the Hall of Fame. Kind of forgotten, never got the media attention he should have, and also a cannon in right field. All right, top number 33. I mean, you got to go Kareem, right? NBA all-time scoring leader until passed by another Laker, LeBron James. You got Patrick Ewing. He could never win it with the Knicks, but at Georgetown, he was a beast, man. I remember Patrick Ewing was the first guy to wear the T-shirt under the jersey because he perspirated a lot. He perspired.
Did you see Scottie Pippen on there?
Oh, where is Scottie Pippen?
He's getting dunked on by Patrick Ewing.
Ryan, you're a Bulls fan. How can you do that to your dog, Scottie Pippen?
Pippen's got a lot of trouble going on.
He does.
Off the court.
Yeah,
at least with Larsa.
What's that? Who's Larsa? Is that his wife?
His wife, his ex-wife.
And then isn't one of his kids
marrying his kid?
Yeah,
Jordan's kid.
So wait, Scottie Pippen's ex-wife is marrying one of Michael Jordan's kids? Oh my God! I overheard. I don't know if it was you and Chris. And I was overhearing because I was too busy preparing the magic that is the show one day, and I wasn't sure if that's what's going on.
Yeah, there's a whole Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They're trying their own.
Oh my God! I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Who's the bear in the middle there?
Charles Tillman, Peanut.
Peanut Tillman.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, is an FBI agent now.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Where did I see on Real Sports or something?
I'm not sure, but yeah, he's started becoming an FBI agent in 2018.
Yeah, right.
Like that.
He's a narc, man. He's a narc. And Larry, we got to talk Larry Legend. Larry Bird, number 33. I've been to French Lick, Indiana, where he's from, because they always talked about French Lick anytime a Bird game was on. And small town, Larry Bird statue. You know, there's everything there, Larry Bird. And if you did you watch the HBO show Showtime?
About the Lakers
dynasty,
yeah.
Or what did they call it? Yeah, they called it Winning Time.
Something like
they
that.
They couldn't call it Showtime because it was on HBO. And they went, yeah, right. So it's called Winning. That made sense. That's like Goodfellas. You know, the book Goodfellas was called Wise Guys, but there was a TV show called Wise Guys with Ken Wall. They couldn't use that name, so they went with Goodfellas, which I think actually worked out better. But anyway,
did you notice the second name on the list?
Oh wait, second name on the list, Larry. You have
Eddie Murphy instead of Eddie Murray.
Hall of Fame baseball player Eddie Murphy. No, it's Eddie Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we did that mistake on purpose. We don't know if you're an eagle eye. I don't know if anyone in the live comments caught that yet.
Not yet.
I know B-Town Dummy last night. He caught a mistake.
Yesterday's
There was a mistake
birthday
on
post,
yesterday's show that I didn't notice. So yesterday was Troy Aikman's birthday. We have Troy holding up 2, even though he won 3 Super Bowls with the Cowboys. We have Troy Aikman in the middle holding a birthday cake. Happy birthday, Troy. And then there was a picture of Troy Aikman hoisting the Lombardi.
Except
but that is not Troy Aikman.
Yeah. That's John Elway.
Who is that, Ryan?
That's John Elway.
And who's in charge of making the montages, the collages?
Yeah, that's me.
All right, you know the penalty for if you make a mistake. Go ahead.
Come on.
You got to do it. Do it. We have a penalty around here that we created. You got to take a mouthful of Cheese Whiz. You got to do it. There we go. All right. He didn't want to do too much because he expects a big eating day at Thanksgiving tomorrow.
No,
you don't enjoy that?
No.
I did a dollop.
Yeah.
I did a big dollop yesterday.
You did a ridiculous amount.
I have not rewatched the show, but let me just say I took an extra Lipitor after the show.
In my cheeks.
Yeah, because I think what number ingredient was cheddar cheese on the ingredients list?
The cheese is
I think it
pretty
was
sure it's the top ingredient.
List.
Oh no, whey is the top ingredient.
Whey is number 1. Curds and
you got
whey,
canola oil, milk protein concentrate. Cheddar cheese is the 4th ingredient.
Cheddar cheese is the 4th ingredient. Not bad. All right. We made that mistake yesterday, but it'll never happen again. And if so, you're gonna have to eat more cheese. We're gonna leave the cheese whiz there next to the peas. All right, let's go to Frank's Fast Takes before we bring in our guest. Do we have the graphic ready?
No audio.
Well, no, because we had said yesterday that we're going to have people do their impersonation at home today of Billy Gardell. So can you do a little Clint Eastwood with cheese whiz in your mouth, Brian?
Billy Gardell. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, begin.
You know what? If we were recording on that, which we were because we're live, we record. That was pretty good. All right, Frank's Fast Takes. You know, we like to talk boxing around here. I grew up watching boxing. It's not the same as it was. But on this day in 1986, a young Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champ at the Las Vegas Hilton when he beat Trevor Berbick. And we have footage of this. This is brutal, man. I want to point out, this was November. They called this Judgment Day. Trevor Berbick versus Mike Tyson. Tyson's on the right. Berbick kind of taunted him by wearing the black shorts, which was Tyson's trademark. Now, it doesn't even look like Tyson hits him that hard with the left. Here comes the left. You'll see the head snap a little. Right here, coming up. There. No, here it is. Oh, yeah, it was.
Yep.
It didn't even look that hard. Of course, who am I to say? Now, how hard did it hit him? Trevor Berbick, this is almost like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. The fact the ref didn't step in here and stop it, he starts doing this, and then he still lets him try to get up one more time. Duh, which way did he go, George? And he calls it. And who is that judge, right? Who is that referee? That is Judge Mills Lane, who Chris Andrews told the story about having to drive around. Now look at Tyson, barely broke a sweat. That's his manager in his ear saying, you just made me $1 million, thank you. You're gonna make about 10 grand. Here's the amazing thing about this fight. Tyson was 27-0 with 25 knockouts going into this. But Berbick was the heavyweight champ at the time, but Tyson was a 3-1 favorite. Okay?
Wow.
So 32-year-old Trevor Berbick versus 20-year-old Tyson. Tyson was still a 3-1 favorite. We'd have to ask Chris Andrews. Maybe Chris will tweet you if he's watching. He's off today, right?
Yes.
All right. Chris, if you're watching, tweet
No, he's
in.
here for Sports by the Book.
Oh, he has to do Sports by the Book.
Yeah,
Everything's messed up because of the schedule. 3-1. I want to know what side Chris was on, if he was working a book at the time. But Tyson, 3-1 favorite. And here's the most amazing thing. That was his 12th fight of 1986. It was November.
Wow, yeah.
He fought 12 times that year because basically he wasn't breaking a sweat, man. He was knocking people out left and right. So his 12th fight, he gets the heavyweight championship.
Did he not have a lisp before that fight? Or before that year?
I don't know. And by the way, Mike, I didn't say that story. That was Ryan McCormick, the producer. Which, by the way, did I ever tell my Mike Tyson story? Real quick, I was working on a show for Fox. I can't remember the name. It was hosted by Cal Penn. So Tyson was one of the judges. And I had a friend of mine who worked on the show named Mike. So I was kind of talking on the microphone to the crowd. And I called Mike. I said, Mike, you're an a-hole, right? I said to my buddy, Mike, I go, yeah, stop being an a-hole. Tyson's on set and hears this and looks up at me and goes like this, thinking I called Mike Tyson an a-hole. I go, no. I go, Mike. And by the way, there's 500 people. And I go, Mike, stop, Mike. I was talking to my buddy right there who works on the show. Tell him your name. And my buddy goes, Jeff. Like, you suck. Mike Elias, if you're watching, he did that. I was like, and the crowd roars because they all know Jeff's real name is Mike. So now Tyson is like doing this to me. So afterwards, I have to turn my microphone in. I drop it off at audio, and Tyson's there in a dark corner. I swear to God. And I hear goes, you thought you was pretty funny out there. And I go, oh, my God. Literally, this is like a movie. He's standing there in a dark corner on Mike Tyson. I'm like, oh, no. And I shake his hand. I'm like, and he crushes my hand, by the way. Just crushes it.
I don't think you're an asshole, sir.
I'm like, that wasn't. Oh, Ryan said a-hole. He said a full word. Take another shot. Take another cheese. Dan, should he take Cheese Whiz for swearing?
Please.
He said, please don't make me. All right, anyway. All right, and we have, okay, so we'll move on to Mike Tyson. But yeah, that's my Mike Tyson story. I thought I was going to be killed by Mike Tyson. Unbelievable. All right, new segment idea. I did something last night called a blind bet. We'll have a graphic next week for this when we do it. Now, this blind bet is where I'm going to make a bet on an NBA game, NHL game, or NCAA hoop game. Because I get kidded on the show a lot that I only take overs, right? So I took an under last night. So this is what the blind bet is. I placed a bet on the Indiana Pacers last night under because it was the highest over the NBA's had in like, I don't know how many years. I don't know. But I took that. It was 252. I'm like, no way is that going to hit. Now, I placed a bet. Now, the reason it's called a blind bet is because I did not check the results. So Ryan is going to tell me now what was the final result of the game. It was, I have under 253. Chris, I never bet under, so I took an under. Here's my ticket for the under. What was the final score of the game? Show me the graphic.
It was 157.
It was 157 points?
For one team.
No way.
And 152 for the other.
You're lying to me.
So a combined 309.
Chris, Andrews, this is why I don't take unders. And I did this. You guys are lying. There's no way the game scored 300.
309.
What does that say? Pakers Hawks was set at 252.5. That's why I took the under. Highest total in the NBA in 30 years. And I lose. All right. So blind bets, we're 0 for 1. We'll do one next week. You're up next. We won't check the score. We'll find out live on the show. Okay. Are you kidding me? This is why, Chris, I take overs. All right. Moving on. I want to go ahead and talk about my Facebook post. I posted pictures on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, of me wearing a Browns jersey yesterday, and I heard it from my Pittsburgh people. It wasn't good. So here's my Facebook. Here's some messages from people. Yeah, people were putting up "Go Browns." That must be someone. Yeah, so I just got obliterated by a lot of friends from high school and people I know saying, "What's wrong with you? You lost your Pittsburgh pass."
Did you put in a Tyson lisp right there?
What's that? What I do?
You lost Dirty from the path.
Friends from the path. So you do Mike Tyson. Now they talk about Mike Tyson. Yeah, so that was me. That's the one and only time you'll ever see me in a Browns jersey. Bill Sindelar won the bet because the Browns won. So I had to wear that. But, man, did I get grilled from my Pittsburgh people. I have never put on a Browns jersey, nor will I ever again. So that was your one shot, Berg. Bring it. And they did. I apologize. There was 200 or 300 people getting on me. So I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry. It was a bet. I mean, I would think they would appreciate me being a kid from Pittsburgh that I stick to the bet. I could have went, no, I'm not wearing it, but I stuck to it. What would be the worst jersey for you to wear?
I'm not wearing green and yellow.
Green. You're never going to wear green and yellow.
No.
You're wearing yellow a little bit today, though. A little gold.
Where do you see green?
Well, I see green in your face because you ate a big dollop of cheese whiz.
No, nothing with a G. Nothing. No green and yellow with a G on it. There you go.
You are that much of a Packer hater. I love it. It's like me with the Browns and the Ravens. I love it. All right. Last, before we bring on Dave Michael, I wanted to wish 102nd happy birthday to truly a legend, the great Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney posthumously celebrating his 102nd birthday. One of the best comedians of all time. I mean, pound for pound, one of the best. Quick story about Rodney Dangerfield when he was on the set of Caddyshack. There's Rodney. The cigar trademark, the black suit, the red tie. Caddyshack, probably one of my favorite movies. Now, Caddyshack I probably watched on VHS over 75 to 100 times, memorized every line. Do we have Rodney's entrance scene in Caddyshack? Do we have the video? Yeah, go ahead, roll it. There he is. He's walking into the pro shop.
That's the end of it.
Oh, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, Rodney was great. He was great on that scene, wasn't he? Here's the beginning. The late, great Ted Knight. And this is where he grabs that. Take two of those, three. Here's the hat.
Oh, this is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you.
But look at the look right here. It looks good on you. So a great story about Rodney in that movie. Rodney Dangerfield had never done a movie. He's a hugely successful comedian. So Harold Ramis, the director, the late, great Harold Ramis, you might recognize him as one of the Ghostbusters. After the first day, halfway through the first day, Rodney just looks bad. He's sweating, and he says to the director, goes, I'm dying out there. What's wrong? And Harold Ramis is like, what's wrong? He goes, no one's laughing. He goes, Rodney, it's a movie. He goes, the set can't laugh. They have to, they can't, we're making a movie for sound. They can't laugh. You're killing it. Are you kidding? You're crushing it. You're the funniest thing in the movie. And he relaxed, and then he went on to make the great movie. And that's what happens here on this show, folks, when I make jokes. I tell the crew behind the scenes not to laugh because it'll screw things up. And this is where you could be laughing, right? Yeah, all right, and that's the fakest laugh ever. Anyway, Rodney was the best. I was at the Laugh Factory one night, and he came up to me after the show out in on the front of the Laugh Factory on Sunset. Hey, funny kid. And he was with Jerry Stiller, and he winked at me. And so I got Rodney Dangerfield told me I was funny. That was before camera phone, so I didn't get it on camera. But I have the memory right here, baby.
We'll get some the sitcom laugh to get you some validation.
A laugh track? No, I don't want a laugh track. I want sincere laughter from the crew. Oh, and thank you, Sean, with the giggle. All right, from one comedian to another. By the way, what movie have you watched the most? I said Caddyshack. Caddyshack and Night Shift are up there. What movie have you watched the most?
Jurassic Park 3.
3?
3. Yep.
This is what I don't know if she's going to chime in. The third one?
The third one, yeah. The kid, where the kid gets stuck on the island.
Because the second one's terrible. That's Vince Vaughn.
The second one's awful.
How much have you seen the third one?
Well, so we had it on VHS, and I burned through it, and then we've had about 3 or 4 DVD copies because I burned through 2 of them.
You were out a DVD? You know how hard that is to do?
Yeah.
So how many times? Give me a number.
At least 1,000. That's my comfort movie, and I probably watch it every year to start that's the first year I watch New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
Most people working off a hangover.
That's my comfort movie. Yeah, I love that movie.
You think 1,000 times?
Easily.
And this is
that and the Disney dinosaur. I was a big dinosaur kid.
Yeah, I see that.
So yeah.
And that was a real laugh. Why are you laughing at his shit? I just swore. That's how upset I am. I'm going to bring in another comedian who's going to get laughs on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't see him, but I know he's there. This is one of my really good friends. There he is, Mr. Thursday Night. We're calling him this year. He's like 8-2. He's like crushing Thursday nights. I believe he gave out a winner on our show. There he is, the one and only David Michael. I got to put headsets on. Oh, my God. Hold on. Oh, God.
Buddy, welcome, man. Welcome. How are you? I was just backstage here as we come out here.
Hold on, King. I can't hear you yet. That was my worst fumble yet. All right, there we go. David, what's happening, buddy?
Buddy, all kind of things, dude. This is like football heaven this week, so we're going to go crazy, Lenny. We're going to go crazy, Lenny. We're going to do it this week. But then you were talking about over. You and I talked about overs for the last 30 years,
yes,
right?
we love
talked
overs.
about right. So really, I think you said it best in the 90s. You said, when you bet an under, you're slowly losing.
Right.
When you bet an over, you're slowly winning.
Right.
The one thing I like about overs is you can get it in the first half, and then you can sit back. And an under, you got to sit there and watch the whole game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you were showing that Trevor Burbick clip there, that looks like me every time I try to bet a Steeler over. I mean, oh, my God. All year, I think, and it was with Cleveland, I think, the first game they played them, the Monday night. Yeah, something like that. So, anyways, and the Bill Cowher reference, I love. I met Bill Cowher at the Dapper Dan banquet. You remember how big that was?
1 year. Yeah, that was huge.
And I was making fun of him, and he was on the dais right like 2 down from me, and I was making fun of him because he like hugged Cordell Stewart or something like that. And I said, "Man, I hope he's laughing because he spits harder than I punch." And then Bruce Kiden actually put it in the newspaper, so it was great to meet him.
I remember that.
Yeah, Bruce Kiden.
I met Bill Cowher once. We were, and you might have even been with me. We were all down at Jelly Rolls. Ryan, Jelly Rolls was a piano bar. It was a piano bar where they the dueling piano bars. It was like the first of its kind in Pittsburgh. So we're talking like 92, I think 93. And Cowher walked by outside, and everyone in the bar was like, "Oh, Bill Cowher!" And he stopped and waved, and I ran out and shook his hand. I was probably all drunk, like, "Oh, the coach, I love you," whatever. I also met Dick Vitale in that same hallway once, and it was Pitt, Syracuse. And I went up to Dick Vitale, who was eating an ice cream cone. I said, "Hey, Dickie V, nice to meet you." And I extended my hand to shake, and Dick Vitale did this, kind of a dick move. He was holding his ice cream cone in his right hand, and instead of shifting it to his left and shaking my hand, he went like this. He extended his pinky, and I shook his pinky.
Really?
Yeah, that was like one of the worst. Come on, dude. Move the cone. Shake my hand.
I met Dan Marino one time in Pittsburgh, and me and Larry Riesick, remember Larry? We were out drinking all night long. And then we were walking by, and we saw this window in a bar. We saw Dan Marino sitting back, and there's like a whole bunch of people there. And I said, Larry, I got to go meet him. I got to go meet him. And we walk in, I go all the way over, and I shuffle back. I'm like, Dan, you're the greatest of all time. I'm a Pitt graduate. And like, he was like irritated immediately with me. Yeah. And he's like, hey, like Dan Cortez over there. And I'm like, Dan Cortez? I don't care about Dan Cortez. Dan Marino. And I said, me and my buddy outside. And just as I pointed at Larry outside, he started throwing up on that thing. I said, okay. It's time for us to go. Thank you, Dan. I'll see you later. That's the last time I saw him. So it's like, what are you going to do?
The old comedy days down at Station Square. Dan Cortez, I guarantee you, Ryan, you've never heard of Dan Cortez. No, Dan Cortez was, he hosted MTV Sports in the early 90s, and it was like a really hot show, rock and jock basketball. What? Then he did Burger King commercials. He was from Pittsburgh. And then he played the bimbo, the himbo in the Seinfeld episode.
He was on.
Yeah, George kind of had a man crush on him. So anyway, flash forward to many years later, I was in LA and I was consulting on a game show. I was teaching a host how to host. I was a host whisperer. And this show was called My Dad Could Beat Up Your Dad. And the original host wasn't getting it very well. She was having trouble understanding where the prompter was, and she's having trouble comprehending gameplay. I won't say who the female was, unless anyone really wants me to. Nah?
Absolutely.
You almost said her last name with Nah. It starts with N-A. Niecy Nash. Anyway, so she was paid $250,000 they let her go. They paid her $250,000. That was her contract to walk. So they go, the producer, Mike Nichols, goes, we have Frank Nicotero here. Street Smart's just wrapped. He could host the show. And instead they went out and got Dan Cortez. So Dan Cortez came in, and we kind of knew of each other from Pittsburgh. He was a really nice guy. And he said to me, he goes, a lot of people don't understand. My name actually is Cortese. He goes, it rhymes with Martin. It's like Martin Scorsese. He goes, so I want to be introduced as Dan Cortese. So I would pronounce his name when I'd bring him out, Dan Cortese, and the producers and the network would run up and say, it's Dan Cortez. I'm like, why don't you go to his trailer and talk to him? He begged me and he urged me that I had to say it Cortese. Very nice guy, though. The show flopped. Anyway, so
he seems real. So wait a second. Let me ask Ryan why he doesn't have number 33 Bam Morris on the 33 collage.
Yeah,
today.
He went with Peanut. Tell me, you know why? Because he's a Bears fan. He's a Bears fan, so he'll randomly put the Bears in there.
Peanut was my favorite player growing up.
Yeah, well, because his name was Peanut.
Well, no. I played defensive back.
Oh,
growing
you
up.
played defensive back.
Yeah.
You know what? Also about Peanut Tillman loves dinosaurs. That should have got a laugh
Really?
from man. No, that's big. Ryan was talking about how he loved dinosaurs. So we were like before the show. I saw that number 34 Steeler jersey behind you,
Right.
and which would have been perfect for Monday's show. But anyway,
Right.
I couldn't think of the name of the linebacker. Then I looked at it, and Sean, who works on the show, is a big Steeler fan. I think I do know who it is, and I think is it Tim Lester?
No,
It's not Tim
this
Lester.
The guy played from 2008 to 2012, 2013. He played 6 years in the NFL and he
More
retired
recent.
at 26.
Warren,
And-
Chris Warren, Eric Pegram.
It is out of the University of Illinois.
Oh God, it's Rashard Mendenhall.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
And
man.
Frank, I cannot get rid of this shirt. I
No.
tried to sell it on a couple
No, it's
garage
poison.
sales.
No.
Yeah, no, dude, because the guy picks up the shirt and he goes, "Oh my God, this is a great Steelers shirt. It's original." I said, "Yes, sir." And he turns around and he sees Mendenhall and he goes, "Nah."
No. Now, the reason being is Rashard Mendenhall in the Super Bowl versus Green Bay, right? He had a
Yeah.
huge fumble that actually probably cost us a chance for that game-winning drive to win the Super Bowl. So a lot of people in Pittsburgh. And doesn't he blame Ben, though? He, blames Ben. He's like a real sour dude.
He's real sour. I looked him up before the show. He's real sour.
And
a lot of other.
he ended up becoming a writer on the HBO show Ballers.
Yes, he did.
About the NFL because they wanted real guys, and he ended up becoming. But he still blames he doesn't blame himself for fumbling. He says it was never a catch. I don't know. You'd have to Google it, but yeah, Rashard Mendenhall, you're stuck with that jersey, buddy.
Yeah, I know it, but he's going to keep. That's why I'm going to use it for the show.
All
No,
right.
we also got Michigan and Ohio State here. We got Nick Saban's 18. He goes to Penn State University. He's going to come in and handicap when I'm done giving you all my winners
All right, I
for
love
this
it.
week.
All right, let's get into
Winners!
it. Winners, baby.
And
Let's do it.
okay, let's go. So the best bet of the day tomorrow is take the over in the Dallas game. I don't know if it's 47.5 or
Let's see.
48.
Sean
but
will get the line up there.
buy that hook down. I think it was 48.5.
Okay.
I'm going to put that hook down. I'm not no hooks, buddy.
No hooks.
So
no
what
hooks.
is it? 48? So I would definitely take that over. And I'll tell you why. Because in the Dallas Cowboys are averaging 39.5 points a game at home.
Yeah, at home, they're
And,
killer.
They're killing it. They're killing it. And I don't even know what the Steelers are averaging, but I know it's not even a quarter or
I
maybe
don't
a
think
half.
it's a
of that.
half. I bet you it's half. Probably 19. That sounds about
Yeah.
right.
So, but the Dallas. So I love that over. I love that over. I like Dallas too, and I think they were 12.5. I take them down to 11. So Dallas minus 11, and then take
Here's
the
the
over
line.
in that game.
Here's our line here at South Point. We have 48.5, like you said. So you don't like
Take
the hook?
it down to 48. Yeah,
Okay.
because I think he's trying to win. Prescott's trying to win the MVP, so I think he's just going to light it up and let everybody make the statement tomorrow.
Plus, it's
He's
a
having pretty
rivalry
good
game.
year.
They hate the Commanders. I almost said it. I almost said it. Washington. I almost said it.
But it's minus 12.5. That's a lot of points in the NFL.
Now,
you know?
here's another thing. Sam Howell, the quarterback, and we'll get into this with Jeff, though. He's been sacked the most times in the NFL. I think 51 times he's been sacked. But here's something I didn't realize. Sam Howell is leading the NFL in passing yards. Because, I mean, they're
Is he
always
really?
Yes, he is. I looked at it last night. I was shocked. He has like 3,800 passing yards. Through 10. Double check that.
3,000.
3,000. He's over
3,038.
3,000.
Yeah.
3,038. But he leads the NFL. So another reason to take the over because you know Dallas is going to get up early. He's going to face pressure all day versus Parsons, a Penn State kid.
Pick six.
So I like it. All right, I like it. Yeah, pick six, whatever happening. But yeah, Sam Howell's a
Also,
slinger.
I'm going to take Dallas minus the points. So that's two bets right there. Minus 11. I took them down to 11. I
Okay,
can't.
we
12
might
and a
be
half.
able to shop
Too
around.
many.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you never know. You never know. And I like San Francisco minus 7, not the hook, minus 7 over Seattle.
In
Brock
Seattle.
had a great game.
In Seattle, yeah, it's in Seattle too.
Yeah.
The 12th man.
I don't care about that. I'm taking all the favorites, Frank, which, for me is crazy. I never do that.
Yeah, I know.
But this is such a crazy season in the NFL because I thought the totals, the overs were going to be coming. And last week, I think 9 out of unders.
Yeah.
All unders. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Even the Monday night game with Kansas City and the Eagles, that's just unbelievable
Yeah,
to me.
you thought that everyone wanted the over.
But my favorite thing is that push that they do when they need 1 yard or whatever they need to get in the end zone. That's like Pop Warner football. Did you ever see him in the NFL move people like that?
Now,
That's crazy.
The brotherly shove, the tush push. What are the other names for it?
Bum scrum.
Yeah, right.
Bum scrum.
Tush push,
Jeff Parles likes to call it the tuchus pushes. Tuchus pushes is whatever he calls it. Something like
Tuchus
that.
push.
Yeah, we need.
He's like, well, we'll discuss this later. But
we haven't even started about Matt Canada. If he'd have done that, we'd give him a little bit of credit, right?
Now, give me the vibe, because you're the first person I've talked to on the show in Pittsburgh currently. What was it like? Ding dong, the witch is dead. I mean, what was it like when that came out? You
they went nuts, buddy. They went nuts over. But I'll tell you what. I think Jerry Dulac said very early on, before Tomlin's press conference, that the Rooney's made this decision. They came down from the Rooney,
and then Tomlin comes out.
Yeah, and he says, "Well, it was my decision. It just wasn't quick enough." Hey, if it's your decision, you should have done it when you were 2-6 last year.
He should have done it in 2022. Yeah,
right. So 2-6. So I don't know. I don't know what decision it is. But what are they going to do now? Are they going to change the offense? Because the offense is already set, isn't it?
I mean, I guess they can mix up the play calling. They have two guys doing it, right? Faulkner and Sullivan or whatever. One's going to be upstairs. Is it Faulkner? He's the running back coach. He loves the players. Yeah. And they're saying the running back coach, plus he's always treated Najee as the diva that he kind of is. So I expect maybe, I don't know what the Najee over is in rushing yards this week, but I expect him to get a full workload. But Warren, I mean, come on.
Did you see Najee's post-game interview?
Yeah, we saw Najee's. It was everywhere, all over Pittsburgh.
Unbelievable. That's the exact answer that, like, you're not answering the question, but you're giving the precise answer of the question.
Yeah, you're saying, well, Chris Boswell a couple years ago, there's a famous Chris Boswell clip where there's a shot, the camera of the players walking into the locker room, and Matt Canada comes down from the booth and meets at the door, and he like high fives and hugs one of the coaches. One of the coaches, he's like, "Yeah, we won the game." And Chris Boswell, it's not because of you. It's not because of you. Like, that took balls from the kicker. And the only way Chris Boswell can get away with that is because he's like the second best kicker in the league. He might actually take the Pro Bowl in the AFC over Tucker this year. I think he's like 18 of 19. He's unbelievable. He had one bad year a couple years ago, but he's back, and we love him. Now, you skipped the Detroit Green Bay game. I want to at least talk about that.
No, I'm not going to skip it, buddy. I'm going to bet a 16 parlay.
Okay.
I'm going to bet a 16 parlay.
Wait,
but remember, you got to find. Yeah, I'm going to do a 20 to win 682. $20. That's all it's going to cost.
20 to win 682. I love it.
Yep, we're going to take the over in the Dallas game. We're going to take Dallas minus 11. Okay. We're going to take Green Bay, or we're going to take San Francisco minus 7. Got to buy it down.
That's
and
3.
Then over. That one's only 44, I believe, and it's steady.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take, and this is,
Let's throw the Detroit Green Bay lineup if we can. Yeah, here we go.
That's 7.5. I think
that's the Niners.
That's Niners. Yeah, that's 7 and 44.
Minus 7. Okay, good. So I like that. So minus 7 and over 44, I believe the total. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then the other one that we have is you're talking about the Pack and the Lions. Lions really need to win this game.
Yeah.
I think, because Minnesota's getting hot with Josh Dobbs and everything like that. So I'm going to take the Lions minus 7. I'm going to take over the total there, 47. I love that. No hook on
and
there.
We got it.
What is that, plus 8 right now?
Yeah, we got it at 8. I know.
7.5. Well, I'm going to have to take it down to 7. I'm going to have to take the Lions down to 7, and then I'm going to go over 47. But if you combine all those, if you take the Lions minus 7 and the over, San Francisco minus 7 and the over 44, and Dallas minus 11 over the total, $20. I think right now is paying 682 or something like that.
Pretty good day.
So, yeah, that's a good day. And then you take that whole 682, and the next day, on the Amazon,
we're talking Black Friday now. Okay.
It's hard to do. You take that whole 682 and you put it over 41 in the Miami game, because I think they had a bad week last week scoring. Yeah. That was a very low total. And I know the Jets may or may not score, but I'm going to count on Miami to get 35 of it.
I like it. I mean, and by the way, last night was the premiere of Hard Knocks, did you watch the Hard Knocks in season with the Miami Dolphins on HBO? Excellent episode.
Was it good?
Oh, it's excellent. They start with last week's game against the Raiders, and Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels has been waiting for this show to premiere. He is the funniest coach in the NFL. This guy is hysterical. Yeah. He wears the pants. What are they? The culottes, whatever he wears. He wears those pants that come down to his shins. And he's just funny, man. And he has so many good one-liners in this. Tyreek Hill's hysterical. We'll show the clip. Do we have the Tyreek Hill clip now? So, Tyreek Hill got fined for doing the peace sign. He's the fastest man in the world, right? So he does the peace to, like, the defensive backs as he runs into the end zones. Like, peace, try to catch me, and he gets fined. So here, watch this.
Have a great game today. Two things. Before we get set, yep, chips, okay, and no peace signs, please. I don't want to have to make a decision. I'm spreading world peace.
I'm spreading world peace.
And watch the ref.
Okay.
See, and then pats him on the butt. Look, that's a great. I don't know who that referee is, but he's great. He's like, look, don't do the peace sign. I don't want to have to flag you 15 yards for taunting, but that's what I'll do, because he did it earlier this year. So he's giving him a warning. So if he does it on in a game, he was warned. That was against the Raiders. He didn't do it. But you could see him on
Buddy.
national TV, maybe wanting to do it.
Spreading world peace. You got to love it, man.
I mean, come on.
You gotta love
You got to watch the show. It's hysterical. It's on HBO once a week. They did. It's the first
You
time
heard
they've
what
had a
he said
winning
that-
team. What's that?
You heard what he said he wanted to do when he retires, right? From the NFL.
Yeah, he wants to get into the adult film industry.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Right. Which he's doing a career.
Whatever.
That's the career backwards
Right.
of me. I started in that and now I do this. You know?
No, yeah, you
There's a
started
laugh
there.
from the crew. Wait, what do they know? What have you heard? What is going on? Wait, don't Google that. Anyway.
Go
Shoot
to
it
Things
around
we
the-
serve.
Frank's website.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't go to my website because
We need more subscribers to this show. We don't want to see that happen.
If we want to get
We don't
that,
want-
just don't go to franknicotero.com. So what are your Thanksgiving plans? What do you got tomorrow?
Oh, we're gonna go to my my girlfriend's house, and actually
Okay.
her son's off stage. We're gonna have enough time for Nick, aren't we, Frank?
Yeah, oh no, we're gonna do it. Yeah, we're not in a hurry. I was closing
Then my
the door on
mom's
the
house
NFL.
after that, and it's gonna be family stuff like all day long. 2 turkeys, 2 pies, all that. I'm gonna hit that 4,500 calories you were showing at the beginning of the
You know,
show there.
You know, it just made me laugh the way. And we can't tell the story, but when you just said 2 turkeys, 2 pies.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? We could tell. Well, no, not on
No,
this
we can't
one.
tell. We'll tell
Not
that
on
story.
this one, no.
That'll be a
Like that.
special after dark episode of the show that we do. But you had the same.
Yeah, that's right.
You had the same cadence there.
The
Sean,
blue show, like we're on a
Sean,
cruise
Sean,
ship.
who works on the show, is laughing hysterically behind the glass right now. I have a feeling he brought up my website. Just
What
later,
does it
if you
look
have a
like?
minute, just don't go to Frank.
No, let's show it. Can we show it?
No,
we can't show it.
No.
Just later.
If you want to look at it, you can go to Frank's Twitter bio.
After
It's
this
still
show,
there for some reason.
after this show, and after you
thought
watch
you said
Sports by the
tweet.
Book,
Yeah.
Frank,
Okay.
it's supposed
right.
to be. I have to correct it. My website, which no one uses anymore, is franknicotero.net. Okay, don't go.
.net.
You know where I'm going with this. Don't go to franknicotero.com. I guess I lapsed on GoDaddy, the domain name, and they have bots that take them over and they put up different stuff. So just don't go.
It is much different.
It's much different. You're not going to get any
Drone and
sports tips. You're not going to see any comedy. Oh, you will laugh. It's not intentional comedy, but anyway. So yeah, let's talk NCAA. So we got the big game, the Ohio State versus
That's
Michigan.
it.
Now we grew up in Pittsburgh. I only rooted for Pitt. I mean, I didn't like Penn State. We saw a lot of Big Ten games on TV though because we were in the market, right? So I remember I always liked Michigan because I liked their uniforms. And in the movie The Big Chill, they all went to Michigan, and I loved the movie
Yep.
The Big Chill. And Ohio
too.
State I never liked. I did like Art Schlichter, though, and we know why we liked Art Schlichter, quarterback for the
yeah.
Bucs. He turned out to be one of the biggest gambling addicts in like the history of the world. And I don't know if he ever shaved points, but he went to the Colts. He was horrible in the pros, but Art Schlichter is synonymous with gambling. So I never liked. I never really rooted. I don't really care, but I don't even know who I'm going to root for in this game. Who are you rooting for, and why? Before we bring in Nick.
Before we bring in Nick.
Yeah.
I like Ohio State in this game. I used to love Michigan, Bo Schembechler.
Yeah, Bo Schembechler, sure.
I loved Michigan back in the day. But right now, I don't know. This is weird. The whole cheating scandal, and I guess it's everybody kind of does it, but then they got caught. And I don't know. Is there going to be more to it? So I think if there's going to be more and it's going to unravel even more, then I want Ohio State to win the game.
Yeah, and I see it coming down to a field goal. So that 3.5. I mean, it's tempting to take Ohio State with the 3.5 points. And even the money line, minus 145 here at the South Point Casino, which is right behind me, right here in Las Vegas. Come down, watch the games. It'll be amazing all weekend here. So, yeah, Ohio State. I mean, but Ohio State, I've watched them play a couple times this year. They come out real slow. They win when they have to against Indiana, right? And so I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a great game. I mean, everyone's going to be watching.
You can't come out slow against Michigan, though. You know what I mean? Because they came out slow against Maryland. They came out slow against Penn State.
Yeah.
You know, they did win the game. But you're right. And Notre Dame, they won on the last play of the game. So,
yeah, well,
I mean,
and
come on.
10 men on the field or whatever with Notre Dame. The thing with Ohio State, Michigan also, every time I think of this game now, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I was in Reno, Nevada, maybe 12 years ago, and I was playing a comedy club there in, I forget what hotel, Chris Andrews would know, but I got food poisoning. I'd never had food poisoning in my life. And after the show Thursday night, after the show Friday night, I ordered corned beef hash because Frank Murgy would always get corned beef hash when we go out. And I never ordered it once in my life. I'd take a bite of his and go, I should try this. Ordered corned beef hash, ate it, violently sick. Woke up and the TV was on all night and that game was on, Ohio State, Michigan. I was sick. I was calling friends. I didn't even recognize my voice. Had to cancel the 2 shows in the club at the bottom of the hotel. That's how sick I was. and then I was fine after some Pedialyte and some soup. But the only food I could order to feel better was from the same restaurant that got me sick. So it was just unbelievable. That's my Reno story. It's great. Reno
Did you
Paul, I
tell him?
apologize.
That's the last time you've ever been in Reno.
I did.
Right.
I told, yeah, it's the last time I've been to Reno. Reno Paul, my buddy lives there, who, by the way, is the one who sent me the Tyreek Hill clip. He's the one who said, make sure you get this on the show because it's hysterical. And Tyreek Hill's mom steals the episode. It's great. But anyway, so bring in Zach. Let's hear what he thinks on this. We have an insider here. Or Nick, sorry.
He's a freshman at Penn State University
Okay.
main campus,
Okay.
and he's going to give us a little bit.
All right, now Nick is he's a big fan of college football. All right, there's what's up, Nick. What's your shirt say? What shirt is he wearing? He's wearing a Nittany Lions shirt. All right. All right, so tell us what your thoughts on the Ohio State Michigan game are, Nick.
Yeah. So I watched both games. I watched the Michigan game in person, and I think the biggest thing that Ohio State needs to do is more so shut down the run because they're always going to utilize Quorum. So I think they should stack the middle a bit more. I think would be more important. But I mean, they're kind of a dual threat with JJ McCarthy because I mean he's close to a Heisman favorite at times. I mean, he's lights out, but I mean, they're also in the big house, which gives them a really big advantage instead of the shoe. So I think with their killer defense that they have, I think that's their biggest thing to do. And Michigan didn't look the best against Maryland. They only won by a touchdown. So I think that's their biggest thing. But for Michigan, I think is to be contain Marvin Harrison Jr., which is a very hard task because he is one of the best wide receiver talents we've seen in so long, honestly, because he dominated Penn State. He had over 150 yards against us.
Yeah.
He's lights out. I think that's their biggest thing. But I mean, I think going into the big house is obviously a very hard thing. Over 115,000 fans.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So you like Ohio State?
Yes, I'm rolling with Ohio State.
Just going with the underdog. And this is from someone who saw Penn State play both teams, gave us some good insight to it. So he likes Ohio State with the points.
What do you think about the over though? 46. I mean, how'd they come up with that over? I mean,
don't know.
46.
I don't know. Well, Jeff Parles will tell us in the next segment. We're going to find out how they arrived maybe at that number. I don't know. On college on that matchup, I don't even look at the over under because you never know with that game where it's going to go. So I just want to pick one of the teams. So I would go with the Buckeyes. And for Ed Driscoll, our buddy Ed, he's going to be rooting. Yeah, he's going to be rooting for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Well, I love it. So you're going with the dog.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, David Michael.
Crazy.
Yeah, go crazy, as we call him. The king. 2 pies, 2 shirts.
Yeah,
It's a story I can't tell. Anyway, thank you guys for being on the show. And speaking of underdogs, why don't we throw that up, Ryan? Speaking of dogs, I want to show a picture of my 2 dogs that I have rescued. There's a fundraiser going on. It ends this Sunday. If you guys could help, please donate. The Venmo is at Expedition Online. And in the description box, if you put #TeamStart, that on the left is Marty the Martian, Marty McFly. That's Scooby in the middle, pressing against the mesh. And then that's Marty, who did that puzzle by himself, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, if you could spare a few dollars, it goes to a great foundation for dogs rescue. So there you go, fundraiser. It ends Sunday, so if you could get it in there, #TeamStart in the description box. Look at those adorable dogs. Do you have dogs? Yeah.
I've got dogs at pretty much every one of my households.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry, you have multiple houses? How many houses? How much are we paying Ryan?
All right,
Jesus.
All right. I've had dogs with my mom.
All right.
We had 2 golden retrievers, and then I moved out of my mom's house, and now my girlfriend and I have 2 dogs.
All grown up.
Yep,
Nice.
all grown up.
All right.
And then my dad has a basset hound as well.
Oh
so
my
I've
God!
got
All right, so
5
help
total.
out the dogs in Thanksgiving. We appreciate it. David, are you guys still there? You and Nick?
Yeah, we're here, buddy.
Thank you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope to see you soon. Great job. We got your 16 parlay. Nick, good luck, and hopefully Penn State gets some offense next season, right?
I hope.
They need it.
Hopefully they do something in basketball though.
Oh, do you like them in basketball?
I haven't really looked. Just
Okay.
saying we're moving into that
How's the basketball
season.
team going to be this year, Nick? What do you think?
I mean, I think they'll be an underdog in the tournament.
Yeah.
I think they can go far.
All right. Well, listen, share this clip with your friends, Nick. You're now viral as a handicapper. We love it. Thank you. Make sure they subscribe. Thank you, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll be back with Jeff Parles to talk NFL action, college football, all that stuff after this. Thank you, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Once you've satisfied your hunger, get ready for more of the hottest casino games in Vegas. Our 24-hour, 30-table non-smoking poker room proudly hosts all the most popular poker games with a variety of betting limits. Visit the poker room for a schedule of daily tournaments. Whether you're going to hold 'em or fold 'em, the best place for poker is at South Point Casino. You'll notice that our craps tables are usually the loudest in the casino. If you've never played, join one of our free craps lessons to find out what makes this game so exciting. Check with the craps dealer for schedules and give it a roll. Bingo is also an exciting way to spend your time. We offer 7 sessions of bingo every day. And each session includes a cash ball jackpot, 12 bingo games, a progressive double action game, and a $10,000 bonus coverall. Electronic units are available. If you haven't played bingo with us, give it a try today. Guests can also get in on the action at our one-of-a-kind race and sports books, 2 separate rooms designed to maximize your experience and comfort. Our sports book, with over 400 seats, puts you right in the middle of the action, 24 hours a day. The friendly ticket writers are happy to help, and it's conveniently located next to the famous Del Mar Deli, where you'll find supersized portions of delicious deli items like roast beef, pastrami, and Reuben sandwiches, or soups, salads, and pizza, plus spectacular desserts fit for a king. And right next door is the race book, over 150 seats, each with its own TV screen. There are 16 interactive player terminals, so you can bet right from your seat.
Can I talk now, Ann? Ann just yelled, "Shut up" to me. I feel like my mom just yelled, "Shut up" to me. Live comments coming in. We got a full slate of NHL games tonight. I like the Penguins tonight. I do. The Penguins, and Jari is playing, so I'm going to go with the Penguins. Ryan's a big hockey guy. The Grand Salami, which everyone knows I love. Haven't talked about it in a while. 90.5. Grand Salami is all the goals in every NHL game. So there's 12 games tonight or 10?
14.
14. Okay, there you go. 14 games.
14
There's
games.
another natural laugh for man. See, now I'm killing it. 14 games tonight. Yeah, I'll take the Penguins tonight. I do like the Pens.
Hosting
And
the
they
Rangers.
will be here January 20th, the Penguins.
Yes, they will.
Are you going to that game by chance?
I think my dad is actually taking
All
those
right, I'm gonna. My buddy Bill's coming out. I'll probably go to that game. Maybe me and Chris. I don't know. We're gonna try to go. But yeah, I always go with the Penguins. Full. And the Grand Salami, 90.5. Why not?
Taking
Excuse
the
me.
over.
Any other subscribers, comments, live comments, anything going on out
We're
there?
up to 685. So
All right, we got a couple more.
Yeah, I got those back.
Hopefully, it
and
was
then,
maybe a couple of friends of Nick's that was giving his pick there.
Yeah.
He likes Ohio State.
Yeah.
He likes the dog.
I also like Ohio State.
I do too.
I
Yeah,
picked
and
them earlier
Sean's
this
nodding
week.
as well. And who do you like? Ohio State? She doesn't know. Ann likes food.
Wait, what
tomorrow.
happened?
Wait, what? She did a wait. What happened? Do we have that? That's wait. What happened? Yeah, I like Ohio State too. The Friday game. Let's talk about, ladies and gentlemen, the host of Sports by the Book, who's doing their huge football show this week on Wednesday.
It's Football Wednesday.
Football Wednesday.
As God intended.
As
Frank.
God intended.
Yes.
It should just be football every day.
Yeah.
Sunday, the NFL eventually will go to an everyday schedule. They'll figure it out someday. When we're dead and gone.
Now, you know, well, well, you know what? That they did have that Wednesday game in the pandemic year with the Steelers.
I
and
went
the
to a
Ravens.
Tuesday game in LA at rush hour. Seahawks, Rams, me and my buddy Chris Nansen got to the game at the 2-minute warning of the first half.
That checks out.
Yeah, LA wasn't
That checks
prepared.
out.
They were not prepared.
Why was that? Oh, that was a pandemic.
It was a pandemic game, so they had to move it to Tuesday. Yeah. Was there a Wednesday game? Was there a
The
pandemic?
Steelers and the Ravens.
Steelers and Ravens,
I'm
you're
pretty
right.
sure made it to Wednesday.
Which was bullcrap because someone was hurt. Was it Lamar? It felt like
Oh, that was
Harbaugh-
the whole Raven the whole Raven offense had COVID.
yes.
And it was Robert Griffin III who started that game.
Oh my
And that
God.
was in the middle of that Steeler undefeated
Yes. when we were
season
11,
still. That
11.
also was chicanery
The
on
worst 11
Survivor
and
as well. Like
worst-
there were all sorts of madness.
They lost to the Commanders. That was their first.
No,
loss.
that was still the football team at that point.
Oh, they were the football team.
They're
Yes,
still the
you
football
corrected me
team.
that twice on that.
Yes.
Damn. So
Trust me, I
anyway,
remember that one because I won big on the football team.
you
that
had
night.
Washington
Yes,
football
yes.
team, which again, as we both agreed, should have kept that name.
100%.
Now the new
Should have
owner
kept the
of
original
the Commanders, when he's shown in the owner's box, he only wears the colors of the Reds of the Washington
3 for 3.
football team.
We would have a lot of dollars in the jar
I've
right
caught it
now.
every time. I've caught it every time. He's only wearing the colors of the team, which makes people speculate in the area that he is going to push for a name change.
They should. The Commanders is a weak name.
It's terrible.
It's a weak name.
What would be a good name for them? Washington.
They should be okay.
Washington-
So when the Nets moved from New Jersey to Brooklyn,
Yeah.
I was a big proponent of calling the team the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh my God, that
Okay?
would have been amazing.
Would have been great.
Why didn't they do that?
Because people aren't as smart as I am, Frank. But they should go with the Washington Monument
Oh, that would be good.
or monuments
Yeah, the
because there
monuments.
obviously are a ton of
Several.
I
monuments.
like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't go Washington Memorials because then you're going to think
Oh,
of
that's
someone
sad.
dying every
Yeah, it's
time that
sad.
you're. Yeah, like that
And there'd
doesn't
be
work.
so many puns. Oh, there.
Yeah, it's just not. That's not good.
Yeah, Commanders just doesn't. I
The
mean,
you know what? I got it. They should be the Washington Capitals.
Wait, what? They can't do that. He's smart again. Or when I first played, my first trip to Washington, D.C. as an adult, came out of the comedy club every night, and prostitutes came up to me every night. So it could be the Washington Pros, the Washington Prostitutes. The Washington Toots. Oh, you going to the Toots game, dude? You got Toots tickets? I got 2 for the Toots. There's your slow trademark it! Ryan, trademark it. That'll give you the commercial. Didn't coming this season. 2 for the Toots. I'm a marketing genius, ladies and gentlemen.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I'm 2 for the Toots. Brian, patent it right now. Stop what you're doing.
That's much better as a laxative.
So anyway, we were talking with David Michael and his girlfriend's son there. Nick was advising us to take Ohio State Ohio State as the underdog. I like the underdog myself in that game. You, a Big Ten fan, or you Missouri? Missouri.
Well, I went to Missouri
SEC.
for college. Yes,
Right.
They're SEC somehow.
You're SEC. I don't know
Somehow.
how that.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah,
always be.
yeah.
They were Big 12 when I was a kid.
They
right?
were.
Yeah,
they were
that's
Big
right.
12 my freshman year of college, and then they moved my sophomore year.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
So who do you like? Ohio State, Michigan. What
I
do you
like
think?
Michigan.
You do.
I do. Yes.
Even
They're-
with Harbaugh.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Okay.
As long as Moore doesn't do anything absurd
Right.
in this game, there's really football coaches do matter, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't think we haven't seen any movement in the line because Harbaugh's out. And I think that is
It stayed
right
the same. Yeah.
because of how good this Michigan team is. And Ohio State, look, remember, if this Michigan has beaten them 2 straight years. They out-physicaled them both of the last 2 years with the dude who's ripping apart the NFL playing quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay?
CJ Stroud was the
CJ
quarterback.
Stroud, and look,
That's a good point.
it was not Stroud's fault the last 2 years that they lost either of those games. The Ohio State defense failed in both of those games. And you now have Kyle McCord, who, has gotten a little better as the years gone along. But if Michigan can slow Harrison Jr. down,
Yeah.
what is going to happen here to McCord?
That's
He's going to
true.
start turning the ball over. And Michigan is so ticked off with everything that's
They
happened.
are. That's
they've
true.
done they've
Motivational
done
factor.
the greatest motivational job with their players.
Yeah.
Of making it seem like, you know what? Everyone was out to get us.
Yeah.
They screwed us, not we were cheating. Like, of course, then it's not going to be the narrative within the team, but they screwed us. They took away your head coach
Right.
because Ohio State was mad that we tried to do something that Ohio State probably does anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Michigan. I think that I'm waiting because I think
Okay.
we get to 3.
Okay,
I
I
think
was
we
going
get.
to say, with the points now, when
Yeah,
you talk,
I think we get. I think we touch 3. I don't know how long we stay there for,
Yeah.
but I think we touch 3.
Okay.
And once we get there, it will be a bet on Michigan. And for me, laying just a field goal at home, I think they win the game comfortably. But I want to
Wow.
get the best number humanly possible here in this spot against Ohio State. And now we'll assuming that Michigan wins this game comfortably, that eliminates Ohio State from the
They're
college
gone.
football playoff. Michigan will beat Iowa 37-2 next week in Indianapolis.
Wait, you're saying I was going to get 2.
They'll get a safety.
Okay.
They'll get a safety, or Michigan will get, Michigan will
prop on
will
it.
snap a punt out the end
Yeah,
zone or
right.
something
And
stupid
they'll
like
actually
that.
give them the
Yeah,
2
they'll
points.
give
They
them.
wouldn't
They'll
have
give them.
earned it.
They'll hand them the 2. But no, I'm still in the camp that Michigan's the best team in the country.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
still in
good.
that camp. There are a lot of good teams.
I was glad to see Washington jump Florida State, by the way.
Yeah, irrelevant anyway, because if Washington went 13-0, they were going to get in anyway.
Yes.
And
But
because
Florida State, I
because
mean,
the Big Ten teams play each other, like if we had 4 unbeatens, the 4 unbeatens are getting in.
Yeah.
I think Florida State's losing either this week or next week now
Okay.
without Jordan Travis.
Right. Yeah.
So then the
that's-
committee's going to have themselves a whole party on how to figure out how to get these 4 teams in, especially if we get a little bit of chaos here in these last
Well,
2 weeks.
Washington and Oregon would have to play. again,
Washington
right?
and Oregon would play each other. That's a de facto elimination game.
Yeah, because even though Washington beat them already, if Oregon beats them,
Yeah, if Oregon beats them again, Oregon's look better
Yeah, they
also.
have, yeah.
So that's Oregon wins. They're clearly ahead of Washington. Washington's done. Washington's going to go to the Fiesta Bowl in all likelihood.
Right.
The interesting scenario, Frank, the DEFCON, is it DEFCON 1 or DEFCON 5? I always confuse this.
Take it down to DEFCON 4. I'm doing the guy from War Games right there.
Yeah.
Barry Corbin, and he put his tobacco on, take us to DEFCON 4. And then me and my buddy Christian would see him in a bar, and we'd be like, oh, there's a DEFCON guy, Barry Corbin.
The lower
Okay.
numbers.
DEFCON 1 is the bad one.
Yeah,
Everyone
the lower
can-
the number
DEFCON
goes, the worse it
2.
is.
everyone confuses that.
Yeah, I know.
So-
It's a
so-
dumb scale.
So
It's like
the
orange, red,
DEFCON
yellow.
1 scenario for the committee
Okay.
is, well, I'm not even going to put in the realm of
Are you
possibility.
saying if
that-
Alabama beats Georgia?
If Alabama beats Georgia, Texas destroys Oklahoma State,
Right.
or actually, best case scenario for that would be destroys Oklahoma
Right.
in that game, where somehow Oklahoma finds its way into the Big 12 title game. Oregon barely beats Washington.
Okay.
Florida State loses. Florida State wins out.
Okay. Then they're undefeated.
Yes, then they're undefeated.
How do you? Yeah.
Then I'm not entirely sure what happens.
Yeah.
All I know
they're
is that
praying for Florida State.
all
to
I
lose.
know is that Michigan or Ohio State, the winner of that game, gets the 1 seed.
Okay.
After that, who knows?
Yeah.
Anything's in play at that
It
point.
really is going to be crazy.
But look, we'll see. We'll see. It's
All right.
it's
I
been a
love
great it's
that
been a great
insight.
year, and it's a shame we don't have the 12-teamer this year.
Yeah.
Because this really would have been a good year for the 12-teamer.
It would have been a good year. So let's talk about tomorrow, Turkey.
Just
yeah,
one quick
sorry.
thing.
What's that?
If Ohio State does lose a third year in a row to Michigan, is Ryan Day done?
No, definitely not. But he's on the hot seat, though.
Now he's on the hot seat if he loses 3
Yes,
in a
if
row?
he loses 3 in a row, he's on the hot seat. But again, it's hard because they legitimately won a loss in the regular season all these years, and they were legitimately one made field goal away from winning the national title last year, because they would have destroyed TCU. Maybe not as bad as Georgia did, but they would have beat up TCU in the national title game last year.
Yep.
I think I took TCU.
What, against Georgia?
I might.
Georgia, I was so close, Frank.
To mortgaging.
No, I was so close to laying an alt line of minus 22.5 at a big time at a nice plus money on Georgia.
And it would have.
And I didn't do it, and it would have been the easiest plus money bet of all
They
time.
crushed them. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
People tuned out. I mean, it was like, what else is on TV? All right, we got 3 games. We got 3 minutes for 3 games tomorrow. I think with the support, the motive, I just think Detroit Lions. I mean, they're setting, the NFL is setting up Detroit for a big win tomorrow. They haven't been favored. They've only been favored once, I think, on Thanksgiving against Minnesota a little while back. But the Lions at 8 now here at South Point, 47. Packers, Jordan Love looks good. Back-to-back 300-yard games, right? Looking good. Played well against the Steelers D, which has a decent D. I don't know. I just feel like the Lions win, but is 8 points too many?
Lions and a teaser. Lions
Tease them down?
Tease them down.
Tease them down?
Find a dance partner. Go with that.
There you go.
I don't see them losing, especially.
Yeah.
I'd feel a little bit more confident about laying a big number with them if they had lost that game last week to Chicago.
They came back and won.
But the fact that they came back and sucked out at the end and
Right.
found a way in that game.
Which Ryan watched. You probably watched.
Yeah,
that.
I was here with Ryan
The
watching
Bears
that
found
game.
a way.
And to
I was
Ryan's
telling the whole
credit, to
time.
Ryan's credit, when
entire game.
Eberflus kicked the field goal to go up 12, he immediately told me that the Bears are going to lose the game.
Yeah, he did.
So I will give Ryan.
I was telling you the whole game the Bears were going to lose the game.
No, but that was the moment. It was like, all right, they just blew it right there.
Yep.
But that was, to Ryan's credit, it was very good. Nothing on the total. Total feels right. If
Yeah.
anything, I think I'd actually come under. You know, you can bet unders. Though, right?
Well, yeah,
you do know
it
that, right?
backfired today, but yes,
Yeah.
I football unders.
The second game, I like Washington. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I like them getting the points.
It's
because
11. Do we have 11?
We're
here?
up to 12.
It's
12 and a half even out there now.
Ooh.
They were embarrassed last week.
Yeah.
Like, to get
the
skunked
Giants.
like that by Tommy DeVito's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. It's
It is.
embarrassing what happened to them
It
last
is.
week. You mentioned Sam Howell leads the NFL in passing yards,
Yes.
just showing us that passing
Shocked.
yards are irrelevant.
I know. I was
at this
shocked
point.
by that. When I
It's
saw that, I was-
honestly the passing yard leader should be named the Blake Bortles Memorial Trophy at this point.
I still get a little twitch when you say Blake Bortles.
Because
of the
Bortles,
Steelers
hey,
playoff
look,
game.
Bortles is very close to being in the Super Bowl. We
Yes,
all
I
forget that.
know.
If it wasn't for that ref screw up in that game, they are in that Super
Who was
Bowl.
that against?
Against New England.
Yep.
Remember
Oh,
Miles
God.
Jack at the fumble 6 that they
Current
totally
Steeler, that's
butchered the
right.
call on
Yes,
the
I
field?
do remember that
And it
now.
would have ended the game, and we would have got Nick Foles, Blake Bortles in the Super Bowl,
Oh, my
which would have been the
Which is
greatest
the one I
QB
was
matchup
rooting
of all
for.
time.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
my
I like
God.
the Commanders. It's just a lot of points. And for Dallas, Dallas's schedule is brutal. After this game, it's just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, they play Philly.
They want to get Philly again. They get the Bills. They get the Lions. They get the Seahawks next
Yeah.
week. I like Washington to cover. I think
Wow.
Dallas still wins.
Okay.
And then in the last game, very simple. I left 7 seconds for myself on this.
It's like-
I like absolutely nothing in this last
Nothing.
game.
You're not touching the late game.
Yeah, not touching it at all.
Seahawks Niners. Yeah, because I know. And is Geno Smith even playing? Do we know?
We don't know yet.
He
We
left
don't know.
7 seconds for the 7.5 point spread. He's throwing it up in the air. We don't know, ladies and gentlemen. We have our tees. Me, you, and Alex, right? You teased up
Yep.
Green Bay
To the under.
54.
Yeah,
Took the under.
Yep.
I took Detroit.
Wouldn't you know your pick?
Do you know?
I
I
took
hope you know
Detroit.
who
Yeah,
you
'cause
bet.
Alex had
No,
the-
Alex is on that one. What?
Oh my God, Frank.
Alex took Dallas, didn't she? I made the bet.
One of us took Dallas.
Just
then
look
I-
at- just
oh,
look
yeah,
at your
and I
phone.
teased-
Look
you
at your
know what?
phone.
Okay, hold on.
It's
We're going
okay.
overtime for a minute
Oh, my
here.
goodness.
Okay.
Here we go.
We've
Oh,
all
I
made
gotta
bets on
log
our
in.
phones during
You
these
can't
shows.
use the FaceTime, or you can't use the Face sign in. What's it called? And this one, I always mess this password up. so
Well,
hold on.
in the meantime, we've got a full slate of NBA games tonight.
Yes.
14 games, and then 14 games in the NHL.
I
So
did the password wrong.
By
you
the
don't
way,
wanna watch
while Frank
football-
is still figuring this out, I just got to give due to the Indiana Pacers
yeah,
winning their group last night in the in-season tournament.
playing no defense whatsoever.
157 points last
Yeah.
night.
I had the under.
I know.
the one-
I know you didn't.
No, he did.
Wait, you did?
I don't want to talk about
Are you
it.
kidding me?
I saw that it was the
Wait a
highest
second.
one
Wait a
of all
second.
time
Wait
in
a
30
second.
years.
Wait a second. The man who doesn't bet unders
Yep.
had the under in the highest scoring regular season game in regulation in NBA history.
Frank's
This is
face.
why we bring in experts and people who know.
This is incredible.
Yes, this is why this is the
This is
entertainment
incredible
show,
stuff.
and we
This
have
is the
sports by the
entertainment
book.
show here at South
starting
Point
in 1 hour.
Studios.
Yes.
Let's
That is
see.
awesome. That's awesome.
We have Cowboys -5. She teased the Cowboys down to 5. You pushed the under up to 53, and I took the seat. Now, see, I had. So, would you go Niners just to win, or would you take Seahawks at home with the 12th man with 12.5 points?
Oh, I'd much rather come down. I don't like teasing up in the NFL.
I took Seattle.
Yeah,
plus
I'd much
12.5.
rather come. I do think the Niners win the game.
I do too. I
so
do too.
I'd rather always come down instead of go
I got
up.
I feel like I got tucked into that game.
And
I got
what was the
bullied
number
into
you got on
game.
that?
12.5.
Yeah, you don't even have a good number on that anymore.
See, you made
I don't
me
wanna make
pick
you
the
feel
Lions
bad,
Packers
I
game
made
because
you
it's
pick
NFC
it.
North.
Well, because we wanted you to go early, Alex middle, me close. That's,
See, but I feel like we should have stuck with the parlay, the Frank first, Alex second, Ryan third, but no.
but we've always done it one.
You know what? You know you'll bounce back even if you lose this one,
take the
and you
Lions.
still may win.
Yeah, we still can win this.
You still may win.
Heater.
You
12
bounce
and a
back.
half,
You
yeah.
bounce back next week.
Keep it
and
rolling next
They're
week.
going to make you take a hockey game on Friday next week.
Deal.
Okay, that's what's going to happen here. I don't know how we'll go, but Frank, Alex, Ryan in that order. I think Ryan's
All
right.
All right, we'll do it that way then. From now on. By the way, David Michael's staring in on us still. He just heard that I took Seattle. Can we punch that still image up? There's his thoughts on. We always take stills
What are
of
you
the
doing,
people we
Frank?
do on the video and we bank them. Spencer's the best. Spencer, if we talked about Washington beating Oregon, and just the blank stare on him.
He'll next Saturday, or no, this Saturday after Thanksgiving. Yeah, he'll be on Sports by the Book. He's coming down to do
he's coming down.
yeah, he's,
Well, can we get
he's
him
doing a
here?
basketball
Can
tournament.
we get him here for what? Maybe punchlines too.
Well, we don't have episodes tomorrow and Friday.
Oh, he's coming down this weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you misled.
I mean, if you want to,
come
He's doing
come
play-by-play
host
at the
Sports by the
tournament here.
Book, I'll take Friday off. You can do that if you want.
we'll talk after this. Ladies and gentlemen. Figure this out. Listen, Jeff, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We added some subscribers. Maybe it was Nick. Maybe it was David Michael's friends. We appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to Ann and to Sean and to Jerry, who's not here today, but happy Thanksgiving. Chris
All of
Andrews,
our
Vinny,
viewers.
Alex, everybody who helps out. And Ryan, I saved you for last. Any closing thoughts on the show today? Thank you, Jeff, as well. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to
Happy
all of our
Thanksgiving.
viewers, your
Yes.
families. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
And aren't you glad you went with the gold cone instead of the black
Yeah.
leather?
Well, I mean, I feel like I looked whatever.
All right. You don't want to be a bad boy before Thanksgiving. You don't want to look like Fonzie. Fonzie reference, and there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Enjoy all the sports gambling. Make sure you come back for a 2-hour football Wednesday, Sports by the Book. They will be here. Just stay on YouTube. I'll see you Monday.
Less than an hour.
Lines, live in Nevada, every show.